welcome to the Storyboard special, Marketing in the Age of AI, Inspire, Innovate, Integrate. Through this special discussion in association with MMA Global India, we aim to put focus on how can marketers transcend traditional marketing strategies by harnessing the transformative potential of AI. This theme of Inspire, Innovate, Integrate underscores a journey of reimagining marketing practices to stay at the cutting edge of digital transformation and business growth with AI as your co-pilot. So, how do we push for impactful AI applications, explore the best case studies, and challenge the existing norms with advanced AI technologies for deeper personalization and predictive insights, and weave AI into existing marketing frameworks while enhancing efficiency and engagement? Let's find out. Joining us in the studio, we have Monica Khurana, Country Head and Board Member, MMA Global India. Rohit Bhasin, Board Member, MMA Global India and President and CMO, Kotak Mahindra Bank. Bhaskar Ramesh, Board Member, MMA Global India and Director, Omnichannel Businesses, Google India. Parthasarthi MA, Chief Strategy Officer, South Asia Group M and MMA Global India member. All of you, welcome to CNBC TV 18. Coming from, the banking sector, Rohit, tell us something on how do you foster the culture of AI innovations. Banks, we have seen normally, because everyone has gone digital over the past many years, couple of years, we've seen banks utilize the potential of AI when it comes to your customer experience and interaction. But in the marketing function, how do you innovate with AI?
So Shibani, for me, of course, while AI can automate routine tasks to save cost, but for me the real use of AI actually comes when it can analyze tons of data, predict consumer behavior and personalize customer propositions and experiences. And to do that, you really have to build a very strong data capability in your organization. So to give an example, what we've done at Kotak, we've kind of divided or built our Kotak data organization into the compute layer and the consumption layer. So the compute layer comprises of data scientists who will look at tons of data and build algorithms to kind of predict various use cases in things like credit, collections, consumer insights and so on and so forth. And then the consumption layer comprises of data analysts who work with marketeers and business owners to ask the right questions to this data infrastructure that you've created so that you can generate the right consumer insights for the business problems that you're really facing to solve them. And I think building this strong data capability is the first thing which really drives AI in any organization. I think the second thing is then to build capability in the marketeers to ask the right questions to the data infrastructure that you've built. The third thing is, in my view, that you will not know everything yourself and you must be ready to partner with organizations and agencies who are ahead of you.
Yeah, and since you mentioned partnerships, Maps, your, someone like you, your role comes into play over here when it comes to working with marketers and organizations like, Kotak, for example. So tell us, what are some of the key areas of transformation for marketers, in order to leverage the opportunities that come with AI?
Yeah, Shivani, it's been quite fascinating as we work with marketers and seeing the areas of transformation. And one of the most obvious is even in the way budgets are being looked at in marketing companies today, right? Earlier you used to have these concepts of what is working media, what is non-working media, what is fixed marketing, what is variable marketing. Now with AI and the ability to create those simulations and to experiment with perhaps thousands of creators rather than one or two, the notion of what comprises these various aspects is changing completely. The second thing which we are seeing is that to kind of facilitate this, the investment in MarTech is something which is of primary importance to most marketers we work with. And earlier it would be a CTO who would be making those decisions, but today it's everyone from the CMI person to the marketing person and the technology person along with the finance person kind of working in,
everyone is tuned
tandem, so that's a transformative process in itself. And I think finally, to facilitate all this, talent has to transform, and we are seeing that happen in all our partner companies as well as they try to upskill and get whole new infusion of talent to juice the max out of the AI investment.
So, you rightly pointed out everyone is tuned in. So, Bhaskar, over to you. In terms of fundamental leadership ethos, what does it take to lead an AI-ready organization?
If I reflect on what really takes for an organization to really power this AI-led transformation, I really think 4 or 5 things really matter, right? Number one is visionary leadership. I have a vantage point of looking at many sectors and many leaders trying to navigate this change. And one thing where progressive leaders do differently is that they ask the right questions. So what is your picture of success as an AI-powered organization? How do you build a better, safer, privacy-first digital customer experience, which is AI-powered, no matter what, whether it is banking or CPG or healthcare, education. So asking the right questions is like the number one thing, and leadership really it makes all the difference in this transformation. The second is, as Maps also has mentioned, AI is really about a lot of collaboration. It's almost like a football as a sport. It's not an individual sport, or it's not even cricket, right? It's like, it's not about, it doesn't lie with the CTO or a CMO or a CFO. It has to be fairly collaborative. You need to build a horizontal to evangelize AI across the organization, right? So what are you doing to break these silos? The third is really about navigating this change using data as the primary way of navigating this change. Because in a static environment, your gut really can help, but in a fast-paced environment like this, we should really look at a database decision making, and I think that also is super important. As Rohit said, all this AI are fundamentally, these models work on better data, right? If you have, it's garbage in, garbage out. If you start in areas where there's not great data, then it's going to be 100x worse, right? So you need to be very clear on where do you start, where do you have the greatest starting point, and make that change happen. And lastly, I think employee upskilling. At Google, we have a very large AI readiness program, even for our own employees across the company, across product areas and business organizations, because the space is fast changing and it's a journey. It's just begun, and I think upskilling is always important, and learning and constantly iterating, right, to navigate this change is very, very important.
Yeah, you mentioned how, the approach has to be like a team sport. But one interesting thing which was discussed in the Mumbai chapter of Impact was how marketers have a seat at the table when it comes to AI with the sheer access that, they have. Monica, your thoughts on this, and how can they bring about the change?
Absolutely. So we strongly believe that the marketer needs a seat at the table. And we are very convinced it's important for primarily a few reasons, right? One, that a CMO has always been leading the transformative charter. It's not a new phenomena. It's just that now AI is added to that charter, and AI is an extension to the transformation journey, right? So that is anyways the case. And a CMO has and will always be responsible for business growth. Therefore, needing the empowerment to take decisions on behalf of the business is very important. So that's point one, right? Point two is that this is a journey where you need to experiment rapidly and at scale. And therefore, you need autonomy to be able to do it without being very concerned about, the kind of questions you need to address or the kind of approvals you need to take. So you need that agility, and therefore you need to have the seat at the table to take those calls rapidly, right? So that's the second thing. Third thing is AI is clearly a competitive advantage, and a marketer organization needs to build on it. So only if a marketer is going to have a seat at the table, that competitive advantage is going to travel top down, and they will be able to sort of leverage it. So it should be ongoing, a process. Lastly, and something very interesting, which our member EY said, that today brands are doubling up for media companies, right? They're not only doing the job of building a brand, they're also doing the job of managing a lot of media content, because you are driving a lot of hyper-personalization, and you need to churn out a lot of content on a very real-time basis, and therefore you need those capabilities. You need, again, the agility to take quick decisions. So all of it is only possible if you have a seat on the table to be able to drive it.
We have a marketer on the panel. So Rohit, how much autonomy do you have to drive the AI, push in your organization? And how do you work with, as Bhaskar mentioned, it's a team sport. So how do you work with your peers in this direction?
So look, as a marketer, you have full autonomy on deciding what is the right proposition you want to build for your consumer. And to build that, then you work with various stakeholders in the organization in terms of you have your data analytics team who will help you build the right insights, find the right insights based on which you build the right value proposition. And once you have the right value proposition, then you work with, of course, with your market research team to really figure it out if it's working with the consumers or not. And working with the finance team to then decide what is the cost of this value proposition. So AI is an enabler for you to make the proposition much better suited for your customer. And as long as you can prove the fact that it is better for your customer and therefore drives more engagement, higher business, higher repeat rates, you have full autonomy to really do what is right for the customer. It's all about keeping the customer at the heart of everything we do. And AI, in my view, actually helps you get to know your customer better and build much stronger value proposition for him. And I think that is why, for me, it's actually the marketer who's at the heart of AI, because he or she is the person who really builds the right product proposition for the consumer.
So you have the best view to, have a vision when it comes to AI deployment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Well, this conversation is about to get even more exciting, but now it is time for a short break. On the other side, we are speaking about the 4th edition of MMA Global India and Group M's Modern Marketing Reckoner. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back. The 4th edition of MMA Global India and Group M's Modern Marketing Reckoner, Winning with AI, focuses on a holistic view of how AI impacts various facets of marketing. It delves deep into the transformational force of AI with strategies, use cases, thought leadership, articles, tips, and best practices from leading AI revolutionaries and decision makers across the full spectrum of brands, marketers, agencies, publishers, and tech enablers. It elicits point of views on the impact and role of AI on 4 key pillars, the 4 P's of marketing: product, place, price, and promotion, by some of the most illustrious voices from our industry. Let's begin the conversation with you, Mabs. The report sheds light on the impact of AI on optimizing media spend, something that we discussed in the first part of this panel discussion, improving ROI as well for advertising investments and for marketers. In your opinion, how has AI changed the overall advertising landscape at large?
Yeah, so I think it's transformed our lives, to put it quite mildly, and it's the entire process of creation, right? It starts with insights. I think Rohit mentioned a lot about the insight mining and how AI is helping us really define and create those sharp cohorts, which was earlier a little more by intuition or by delving deep into multiple data sources. AI is helping us very organically create meaningful cohorts of consumers and get better insights into them. After that comes the entire planning stage. Now, at planning, the way AI is getting infused into our tools is that it's able to not just do the usual thing of planning for reach or planning for impact or something, but planning for tasks, because AI is able to tell us intuitively what kind of mix is better at what kind of task, for instance. And then it comes to the question you raised, which is optimization. Now, optimization from a manual lens, when it transforms to optimization from an AI lens, you're able to do thousands of campaign line items in real time at one go, cohort into platform, into creative, into kind of data signal, and all that's happening in live, in real time, and with thousands of creative options, which are also being generated through the power of AI. So that's again a transformation in the business. And then finally, when it comes to the measurement and attribution and closing the loop, there again AI has transformed what's possible, because it does pattern recognition in real time. So we are able to see how a particular element is performing. And we are also able to therefore completely close the loop.
At banks, if you can probably give an example on how it has helped improve the customer experience within your organization.
Sure. So I'll give you one simple use case. Imagine you want to issue a credit card to an early jobber. So this young kid studying in a college, fees paid by his parents till now, living on a stipend which was again paid by his parents, and for the first time he started to earn a full-time salary. Like all good Indian kids, part of the salary, first salary will go to getting gifts for their families, but after that he starts to spend. He wants to buy the latest iPhone. He's spending for the first time without any concern. So he wants to get the best gadgets, the latest clothes, wants to eat out at various places. And in many cases, he's looking for maximizing his salary because he earns 50,000 rupees. Can I make it 70,000 rupees? So I want a card which can give me the best deals, discounts. And sometimes he overruns his salary, so he needs credit. So herein comes in a credit card company. So how does a credit card company decide whether he's credit worthy or not, and if he's credit worthy, how much credit to give to him on his card, or how much limit to give to him on his card? So let's start with this use case. So the person who's looking at credit in the organization can look at various data algorithms that we've built to define how credit worthy this person is, how likely that he will pay back and not get delinquent, and if he's credit worthy, what is the right credit limit to give to him. Once you have a pre-approved offer for this person, the product marketing guy comes into the picture and says, okay, what is the right value proposition for this person, so that out of the 20 cars that could be there in the market, he's most likely to buy my card. So if he's a guy who's really into, let's say, shopping, would a Kotak Mahindra co-branded card be the right one for him? Or if he's more into eating out or traveling, therefore what is the right credit card for him? Once you really decide the right value proposition for him, then you can figure out using artificial intelligence, what is the right messaging to give to him. Would he be more directly directly convert to an emotionally driven message or a functional message about deals and offers. So once he's, let's say, bought the card, artificial intelligence can even further help you managing his spend patterns. So the credit card product owner could kind of look at AI and look at his spend patterns to decide, how much, how do I maximize his limit? What are the purchases that I could offer to convert into an EMI? So that he kind of uses as much of the credit limit, and therefore is delighted by the experience. Moving forward, if he's a good spender, AI can help me increase his credit limit. And once that happens, that person feels happy at the fact that you've made it more personalized for him. And then finally, moving on to collections. Until the credit card company receives the money back, it's not complete. So how could AI help the collections team identify who are the people who could potentially default on the credit? And if you already can predict that before that even happens, you could have that conversation with that particular person and help him navigate through the whole process so that he doesn't delinquent, and that leads to a much happier, engaged customer. So I think overall the best use of AI is to create more personalized propositions and offerings so that it leads to real consumer happiness.
That's scarily personalized, by the way. That's really scarily personalized.
I can give you another example, which is where we're trying to use generational AI, Gen AI, to kind of see how we can use that in the future. So one use of Gen AI for me is the fact that imagine when you call at a consumer call center, and based on the tonality in your voice, if I can predict how likely you're going to respond to a particular solution I'm going to offer to you, so that I can actually offer the right solution to you so that solves your problem. And only if I can kind of predict your behavior, I can actually do something which is going to drive better consumer experience. So that's a great example of how we want to use Gen AI moving forward.
Yeah, your thoughts on this, on this entire personalization that, Rohit just spoke about, and how Gen AI can be used effectively to create this personalized messaging, at the same time not being too intrusive into that person's life.
Well,
is it possible at all in this day and age?
So firstly, I think AI's promise will definitely enable two things: smarter advertising, delivering better results, right? But let me take a step back to just simplify this AI for a bit, right? The best analogy to understand this is like a human brain. There is a left brain, there is a right brain, right? The left brain is equal to like the analytical AI or an embedded AI that we have, which has become very, very good at two things: summarization, right, and prediction, right? Much better than in the past.
Sure.
But it is the right brain, which is equivalent of generative AI, is what is creating all this buzz, because what that can do are again like a couple of things, right? Like creative transformation and conversational ability, right? And the magic that what Rohit is talking about and the promise to all the marketeers is that the promised land is the combination of this analytical AI and generative AI, right? For a marketeer is it is actually transformatory in nature, right? Because if you have great data about your consumers, your ability to kind of deliver smarter ads, more personalized ads, to deliver the right message at the right time to the right user who is seeking out for you is actually exponential. And if there is a right creative, which is far more effective at that point in time, it is also transformatory. Building brands, for long term is a far better way to build profitable businesses, right, over time. And that is becoming like how to build brands digitally is an unsolved problem. And I think Gen AI is going to make that a reality in my view, because the ability to solve for creative across different platforms, across different screens, and in the right context, right, is an overwhelming for a brand marketeer, right? Yeah. So Gen AI is actually going to solve for some of these things. So if you look at some examples like a Cadbury's happy birthday song, you can have a personalized song for every birthday created for you. Or many of these examples that are actually happening, it's brand advertising personalized, right, at scale.
Monica, final thoughts, on, how a vision that believes or reflects the report as well when it comes to AI going forward.
So we got to embrace the gray, where you don't have black and white answers, you don't have ready frameworks. There are many myths which are not completely busted, right? And there's a lot of unpacking to do along the way, right? So we've been really trying to solve for this journey of being in the gray as a body. And what we believe is that the only way forward is to ride on collective wisdom, right? That is the only way forward, where you enable platforms for shared learning, you enable platforms for continuous experimentation, and you enable a lot of peer learning, right? And that is what this report is attempting, right? So this report primarily has brought together experts from across the ecosystem, be it the practitioner, be it the marketer, be it the agency, be it the investor who's actively investing in marketing stacks, not a regular investor, right? And all of these, the attempt is to bring out insights, to bring out learnings, to bring out a whole lot of perspective on how do you embrace this journey, right? And really evolve along the way to be able to unpack these answers and embrace AI at scale.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you
for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
With that, it's a wrap on this special. Goodbye.